All right. Let's head down to L.A. and let's catch up with Trailblazers assistant coach Kim Hughes. Gracious enough to give us some of his time tonight. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
We're doing wonderful. Michael, you want to tell them how you're doing?
Yes, Coach Hughes, I am doing well. Thank you.
Great.
Hey, how much of a blessing is it for you guys to have LaMarcus Aldridge back? I know it kind of calmed the waters after maybe they got a little choppy there over a course of 3 or 4 games, huh?
Well, it does. I'm not sure there was a general panic, but certainly after winning 3 straight since he came back, our lives seem a lot less stressed out. We missed him, not only the points and the rebounds, but his defense. We really struggled when he was gone of protecting the rim, because when Robin would defend the paint and have to go outside, our other 4-man power forward, doesn't have the skill level of Marcus, so we really suffered that way. And we're missing Joel Freeland, which is, people forget about him. He's been very good for us.
Is he, still on the way back for the playoffs? I mean, what's the progress of Joel? I know you work with the kids quite a bit.
I think it'll be tough. I just don't see how he's going to get more than a game or 2 under his belt. Missing 8 weeks, his timing's going to be off. He's going to be out of shape. Only from my point of view, I just don't see how he can do much.
Yeah, I know you'd love to see it, but, kind of on that same thing right now, Coach, the new rotation looks set, and it appears to be working. We just talked about it in our first segment, Michael and I. Looks like, a 9-guy rotation, and a lot of that rotation right now is working. It's paying off over these last 3 games, which is certainly great to see.
Well, I think there might be really an 8-man rotation if we go small, and a different 8-man rotation if we go big. I think Durrell probably is the first big, even though he's not big off the bench, but he spaces the floor. But there might be scenarios where he just can't play. Last time we played the Lakers, they played Wesley Johnson as a 4. They subsequently haven't done that. They've remained big. So if they remain big, I would imagine that we'll play both Durrell and Truck Robinson tomorrow.
Truck Robinson. I like it.
Hey,
it's for my era, so we've got to give him a nickname that's appropriate for me.
I can go there with you, Coach Hughes. You know what we haven't seen in LaMarcus's return, and as you're talking about the rotations and Robin Lopez and what happens, I guess I'm thinking of what happens when Robin is out of the game and what happens if Robin gets in foul trouble. Earlier in the season, we would see small ball with either LaMarcus at the 5 or with 4 smaller guys. We haven't seen that in the last 3 games. Is that retired for the season, or might we see that again?
No, it'll present itself. I think there'll be scenarios where LaMarcus and Truck will play together, and the reality is LaMarcus is more of a center than Truck. Truck's listed at 6'10". He's probably actually 6'8". So Truck will probably play the power forward or the less offensive-minded postman, and will always stick LaMarcus with a better offensive post player because people don't realize how good he is on defense. That's something they don't mention, but we really do appreciate it.
Assistant Coach Kim Hughes joining us from L.A. as the Trailblazers getting set to take on the Lakers tomorrow. And, Coach, I don't need to remind you of this, but, of course, there are 7 games to play, and I'm sure that the fire is there with this entire team right now, and everyone's taking that 1 game at a time approach. Tomorrow you get the Lakers. Of course, they surprised the Suns last night. You never know what you're going to get out of these Lakers. They're to me, they look like a bunch of misfits out there that are playing for their next contract. How are you guys preparing for them for tomorrow?
Well, they are. I mean, the reality is they've got a numerous amount of free agents playing in the last year of a contract. Chris Kaman, for example, went 28 points, 17 rebounds, 7 assists, and he had hardly even played before. And, we fully remember they beat us at home on March 3rd, and that still irritates me. It's my scout, so our film session tomorrow kind of is going to be brutal because I intend to show about half of the fast break layups we gave up. We gave up 38 fast break points, which is a joke. Mm-hmm. But because of that, our players are going to be able to see that tomorrow right before the game. So hopefully they'll be as angry as I am as I put it together.
Coach, thank you so much for taking us behind the curtain of the scout.
I love it.
What happens when you look at those 38 fast break points? How much of eliminating and reducing those points is the defense and defensive focus, and how much of it is is shot selection and being in a position to set your defense, because the Blazers, and Terry Stott says this a lot, and I'm privy to it because I'm in the huddles. I know how important it is for this team to get up and down and play and flow and not let people set their defense. And I think that's a great thing, and this team has flourished in that style. But if there's a flip side or a downside or a concern is sometimes you shoot quickly or you surprise each other with shots, hence a team like the Lakers running out.
Well, I think not only shot selection, but I couple that with not running back. And part of my talk tomorrow will be, I guarantee you the Laker coaches are saying every time Portland takes a corner shot, let's run, because they don't get back. Mm-hmm. So it's the guy who takes a shot from the corner, the opposite corner man not running back frequently, or sometimes going to offensive boards. So we put ourselves at risk unless we make it. So the reality is they shoot the three-pointer better than we do. They shoot it around 38. We're around 37.8. So we always think we're the best three-point shooting team. We're playing against a team that shoots better than we do. So we better realize we can't live and die with a three-pointer like they do. We've got to go inside out because they're a horrendous defensive team. We want to punch them inside. We want to play our style of game. And I think if we're physical like we are, or we're against Memphis, it will really help us against the Lakers, I think.
We've always talked about living and dying with the three-pointer, and the Trailblazers, recently, at least over these last 2-3 games, Coach, you only shot 15 three-pointers in last night's game, which was kind of, a break from the norm from what we've been used to seeing with this offense. And I think that allowed you guys some success last night. Can you talk about the game plan and maybe just not forcing as many three-pointers last night?
Well, we definitely don't want to force threes, but we do want to hit threes early and often because we realize the value. If you shoot, say, 38%, the true value is 57% with the efficiency because you get more points per an attempt. Mm-hmm. But the other side of it is Memphis is a great defensive team, if not the best defensive team, the second best team behind Indiana in the league, and they don't give you open looks. So you shooed the challenged or covered looks and made a next pass or penetrated, and it really did a good thing for us. I mean, I think we scored plenty of points, but we didn't rely on just the three-pointer. And you take a guy like LaMarcus, he struggled, which no one cared about on our team, but we still were efficient with him going 2 for 10. So I thought I liked our offense in the last game. I liked the balance. I liked the unselfishness, and if we play that way against LA, we shouldn't have trouble.
Coach, talking about Memphis's defense, and with all due respect, they have one of the better defenses that are tough and they're physical. But you guys shredded it. I mean, you shot 52%. They give up 96 points. You score 105 without the three-point shot being a big part of it. What was the key to that?
Well, I think across the board, guys shared the ball. Damian did not make a basket. He did not score in the first half. He didn't search or hunt shots. He only took 3. So when guys do that, when your studs come out and they don't chase points, I think it becomes contagious, and everybody realizes, if I don't have an open shot, I'm going to swing the ball and make the second or third pass. And when you make the defense go from side to side, you're pretty efficient. But if you make them go side to side and to the other side, most defenses, including ours, have a tendency to break down.
I thought the tempo was incredible last night, and love getting to watch this team get up and down the floor like they did last night. Coach Kim Hughes joining us from Los Angeles. And Coach, can you talk a little bit about the development of Myers Leonard? I know we've talked about him before in the past with you, and he's got all the physical skills needed to be an NBA player, but the learning curve has been a little sharp with him, hasn't it?
Well, I'll put it to you this way. I'm not worried at all. I worked with DeAndre Jordan. He never got better in his first 3 years. Chris Kaman was thrown into the fire because the philosophy was there is no veteran ahead of him. He just played with trial and error, and we just kind of lived with his mistakes. Big guys take longer. Myers will figure it out. He hasn't played as much as he did last year. But to be honest, he didn't deserve all those minutes last year. We weren't that good. This year, we're in a playoff run, so we really can't afford to play guys for minutes just to give them minutes to accrue experience. So the rotation's been shortened up a little bit. It's been settled on truck, but I've told Myers, if LA goes down or Robin goes down, you got to be ready. So his season isn't done. He has to be a pro and has to be prepared. And he has to, be waiting in the wings in case an injury occurs. If an injury doesn't occur, he might not play much, but it doesn't mean he can't work on his game and practice and shoot-arounds and just try to get a little bit better. And he has struggled. His confidence has waned at times, and he hasn't made his three-point shot, which he makes all the time in practice. But I think he's going to be fine. I think it may be next year. It may be a year and a half from now, but I think his talent will win out. He works hard. He wants to be good. He just hasn't played a lot. His freshman year in college, he hardly played. They played an all-senior team, and he played a little bit his second year and only year at Illinois, but he never worked on any post moves, so he kind of got thrown into the fire when he came here.
Well, Coach, thanks for taking us behind the scenes a little bit with his development. It's interesting, though, because what you just described is kind of the opposite of how one's pro career usually develops. You usually sit that first year and watch, and then the next year you play a little bit more. Myers had a chance to play a lot his rookie year and then less this year. So in terms of the learning process, when you play a lot and you get that on-the-court experience, and then I guess I'm getting to a question, and the question is, how effective is he learning by watching and in practice now?
Not a lot. I think big guys are a little bit quirky, and I think they need actual experience doing it rather than watching it. I think guards, small forwards can accrue that information, gather it, and process. I think bigs, it takes longer. So if he was playing more right now, it would speed up the process, but that's not what's going on. But he still watches tape. He's attentive that way. But to be honest, he would get better faster if he's playing. We just don't have that luxury right now. But he's not regressing from last year. Last year, he had some up and down times, but he also had some good games. And we weren't that good last year. The talent level wasn't very high, so he was playing a lot more minutes than a guy at his level probably should have.
Coach, one more question before we let you go. Which team would you like to face in the playoffs? Is there a team that you're looking at? You knew that was coming, didn't you?
Everybody is saying Houston because of the injury to Beverly, and Beverly's a tough enough kid. He may come back. He's had that meniscus problem that they may not do surgery. I like the way we play against OKC. I like the way we play against San Antonio. The thing about San Antonio, which I don't really want to play against them, it doesn't matter who gets injured, who's missing games. They just plug guys in, and they just keep winning. They've had more injuries than we've had, and they just get it done. I don't know if Popovich is that smart or it's the system, but they really are an efficient team in the true word of team.
Yeah, there's something magical about what they do down in San Antonio, no doubt. And they're just looks like they're wrapping up win number 18 as they just put the shellacking on the Indiana Pacers tonight. Coach, thank you so much for the time. Best of luck tomorrow against the Lakers, and we'll catch up again soon.
Okay, thanks a lot.
I appreciate it. Kim Hughes joining us from Los Angeles.